set to go.
Hold me close to you. You won't have to choose. I've been searching for days for you. Hold me close to you. You won't have to choose. I've been searching for days for you.
Maybe.
Well, yesterday we introduced you briefly to a brand new technology, Ncam, our virtual reality car. And on cue, Fabian Coulthard's Freightliner number 14 turns up in front of me. We're going to get our cameraman Rich to take you inside this car, have a look at some of the controls, the steering wheel, and put you in the driver's seat. Now, these cars are a little bit different to what you have at home. There's a lot more stuff in here, but also the roll cage, the safety cell. It does impede vision ever so slightly when you're trying to see apexes of corners. The drivers sit very low, and yesterday we saw a few mistakes being made that were quite costly, which could have something to do with drivers just trying to get that pinpoint accuracy. We saw Mike Caruso get a puncture for touching the Turn 1 tyre bundle. We also saw Chaz Mostert get it slightly wrong, ever so slightly wrong at the apex of Turn 8, which put him in the fence. So sitting in this driver's seat, a bit different to what you have at home, and sometimes just getting it that little bit wrong can end in disaster. While we're here, and because we can, we thought we'd take you into Ncam land again and take a quick look at the steering controls on a V8 supercar. Now, we all know steering wheel, it's got to be had. Every car has got one, but there's a lot of other controls and buttons on a steering wheel that a driver will use and are very integral of him doing his job. So you can have a look over there. There is the steering wheel and all the components on it. So we can just quickly have a quick look at some of them. The Motec Mini Dash, that makes up the centre part of it and is the central information source for the driver and the team. Okay, lots of information comes into there, not always used all the time, but when required, very important. The Mini Dash scroll button can change configuration or change the pages on that dash depending on what the driver is looking for. The pit lane limiter button, we know how important that is, okay? We've seen guys that have been given penalties for maybe not getting the pit lane limiter button down in time, but 40 Ks when you cross the line coming into the pits, and obviously you can turn it off when you leave the pits on the other side. The drink switch, drivers really want to know where this one is, and they configure the steering wheels very differently depending on personal taste, but the drink switch, every single driver has one. Obviously for the hot races, the long races, this one, they want to know where that is and make sure it is working.